The date is September 8th, 2015. The time is 1:17 in the afternoon. We're going to call on her cell phone. That phone number is I'm sorry.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Sergeant Green with the police department. I spoke to you yesterday.
Yes.
Hey, do you have a few minutes to talk with me?
Yes.
Cool, I really appreciate it. And so you know, we're speaking on a recorded line, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so the information I have, this is in reference to your incident that you were involved in earlier this year. I think the date was March 14th, 2015. You were detained at Amy Hardware and then ultimately taken into custody on a brass knuckles case, which we're not interested in. What I'm interested in is your interaction with the loss prevention at Amy Hardware, and I'm wondering if you can kind of just tell me from the beginning what happened, how they approached you, and what they said, and then we'll go from there. I'll probably have some follow-up questions for you.
Okay, yeah. I was shopping there for some nuts and bolts, and when me and my friend, we were getting ready to pay, stand in line, he realized that he forgot the ATM card in his car, and I went to go grab it from the vehicle outside. Well, I forgot I completely had a bicycle light in my hand with my Slurpee cup, and as I exited Amy Hardware, I could hear a man behind me on his phone, but I wasn't really paying attention of it. My friend was still inside. He had the nuts and bolts and everything, and a bag of screws he was going to purchase. I heard this man kind of on his phone behind me. I couldn't hear what he said, and he didn't identify himself or anything like that, and I kind of looked behind me, and he grabbed my arm really harshly and said, "You need to come with me." And I go, "Excuse me, what? Let go of me. What are you doing?" And he still hadn't identified himself as anything regarding loss prevention, or at one point, he finally, after they had handcuffed me, he said he was Sheriff's Department or SAC PD or something, but before all that, before he identified himself, he literally had me pinned down on the ground before I realized what was going on, and he said I stole some things, and I go, "I didn't steal anything. I'm going to get my ATM card out of the car," and that's when I realized the bicycle light was still in my hand. I go, "I'm not trying to steal a bicycle light."
Yeah.
You know, and there was an 80-year-old man who was right outside and witnessed all of it, and he actually went to go hit the guy that pinned me on, he went to hit him and everything too, because he did not identify himself whatsoever.
Yeah.
Until after they had me handcuffed, and I panicked, and it startled me. So of course I was kicking and screaming and fighting back as much as I could.
Yeah.
Until they finally, my friend, he came out, and he actually hit the guy over the head with the bag of screws also to try and get him off of me. And at that point, once my friend came out and he did that, that's when I kind of I gave up. I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't fight anymore. Yeah. So when they picked me up and they put me back into the office and everything in the back of the store, there was a female there, but she wasn't involved whatsoever in trying to apprehend me. She was still inside the store. It was just a guy that was doing that was trying to apprehend me. She talked. She got me to calm down. Finally, I started having a panic and anxiety attack, really, really bad, and I think for it, but she calmed me down, and she let me have one of my medications, one of my pills, so that I could try and calm down a little bit more. But she was a little bit more I don't want to say like sensitive, but she was just the cooler head of the two of them, and that they didn't find nuts and bolts in my purse. They only found the knuckles, which that's a whole other story. But they didn't find any nuts and bolts in my purse except for the ones that I actually had brought in to compare with what Amy Hardware might have to see if they had something a little bit longer, and they didn't.
Okay.
They didn't have what I wanted. They had what was in my purse was a couple that it was for a bicycle couple that I physically had brought in from my house to compare and see if I couldn't find a longer set.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's when the cops showed up, and that's when the Amy Hardware loss prevention people kind of just like backed off, and the cops were that's when they took over, and it turned into me being arrested for knuckles.
Okay. So to back up a little bit, can you start by describing the first subject, the first guy who was the loss prevention officer? Can you describe him to me?
Yeah, he was an older white male, probably in his 50s.
Okay.
Balding hair on it. He was losing his hair, or he was balding.
What color was his hair?
Blondish brown, I believe. A little bit of gray in there.
Okay.
And then he was probably about 5. Let's see, I'm 5'9". He was about 5'8" or 5'9", I believe.
Did he ever tell you his name?
No, I did not catch his name at all.
If I showed you a picture of him, do you think you could identify him?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember kind of what his face looked like, or was there anything particular about his build or his body that stood out to you?
He was in shape, I guess. He wasn't overweight by any means for his age. He was slender, but like for how tall he was pretty proportionate throughout his body. I didn't see like any he didn't have like a beard gut or anything that I noticed.
Did he have any facial hair?
No, I don't. No.
Okay, and you said he had like blondish hair?
Like blondish brown and a little bit of gray coming in.
About how long was it?
He was balding, so it was very short to his head.
Okay.
It wasn't like it was thrown out or anything like that.
Yeah. And
it was just like a number one cut on a razor or on a hair trimmer.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
Cut.
You're speaking my language. I understand that.
Okay.
Do you remember what he was wearing that day?
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay. So you said at some point he identified himself, or that you thought he told you that he was a police officer or a sheriff's officer. Do you remember when that happened?
Yeah, he identified that he was a sheriff. He worked for the sheriff's department as I was being escorted back through Amy Hardware and put into their back office. Okay. That's all he said, though. He didn't say a name or anything.
Did he say what he did for the sheriff's department?
No.
No? Okay. Is he the one who handcuffed you?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever see a badge or a gun or anything like that?
No.
Okay. He just, did he ever say that he was loss prevention, or did he just tell you that he was a police officer or sheriff's officer?
He said that he was loss prevention and he worked with SEC, Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
And so I was being escorted through the store.
Okay. And when he walked you through the store, was he still by himself at that time, or was there another loss prevention officer?
No, the female that was with him, she was walking with him at that point behind me.
Okay. When did she come in to this whole scenario?
She came in after, right as they were getting ready to. She came in after my friend hit him over the head with the bag of screws, and he already had me handcuffed. I had stopped fighting at that point, and basically when he was trying to get me to stand up and go into their office in the back of the store.
Okay. So,
that's when she came in.
Can you describe her for me, the female?
Yeah, she was probably in her late 30s, early 40s, brown hair. She's like 5'8", I believe, slender build. Her hair was in a ponytail, I believe, that day. but it was like a little bit past shoulder length, but it was down. Oh gosh, what else was her?
Was she a female white or black or Asian?
She was white. I'm
okay.
sorry, she was white.
No, that's
yeah.
okay.
She had big boobs. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can't really, like, I can pick her out of a photo also. I can, if you were to show me a photo of her.
You'd be able to identify her again.
Yes.
And were those the only two loss prevention officers you saw there?
Yes.
And what was their interaction like when they were talking to each other? Were they saying anything to each other? Were they having any conversation?
She was, if they did conversate, he was very aggressive, and she was aggressive, but she was towards each other. He was, like, extremely adamant on digging into my purse and finding exactly what he wanted, and if he didn't find it, he was, like, getting ready to rip open my purse. I don't know, but
yeah.
she was more passive than he was, definitely, but she wasn't by any means she wasn't going to stand up to bullshit. Like, she could hold her own when they were talking, but I don't remember, like, direct conversation. They weren't, like, just shooting, you know, hey, how's it going today? They were very to the point on what they were trying to look for and everything,
okay.
and the conversation between the two of them was just short.
Okay. And they accused you of theft of the light, correct? Of the bike light?
Of the bicycle light, and then they said that they had put some nuts and bolts in my purse.
Maybe they saw the one that you had brought in to compare?
Yeah, I guess.
So
I pulled those ones out of my wallet to go compare them to, and then they saw me put them back in my wallet thinking it was theirs.
Okay. And then how did they want to resolve the theft of the bike light? Did they talk about that at all?
They kept asking me more so about the nuts and bolts, and if I just told them where they were at, or if I just talked to it, then they'll let me go.
Yeah.
And then the cops showed up, and that's when the cops looked through my purse and found the knuckles. Then it was no more. Then they didn't want anything to do with it. Then it was. Then they disappeared, and the cops took over, and I was walked out to the back door and into a car.
Okay. Did they ever say anything to you about paying them money to make up for the theft of the property?
No.
No. Okay. Did they ask you to sign any forms or anything of that nature?
Yeah, I have a form that I signed from EV Hardware stating that I'm not allowed to go back there anymore. I actually have it. It's out in my truck right now. I can probably dig it out in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But I have forms that I had to sign with the whole incident.
Would you be willing to share those with me so I could either make a copy or something of that nature?
Yes.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I want to go back because you kind of said two different things. Do you remember specifically if the male, if he said he was a sheriff's department or a police officer? Are you certain he said sheriff's officer, or was it maybe just one of the two?
I'm positive he said sheriff's department.
Okay. Okay. What is the best way to try and meet you? I'd like to show you some photos and then maybe get some copies of those forms that they had you sign. I could come to you, or you can come to me. Whatever is easiest for you, I can certainly do.
Where are you located at?
I'm located on Freeport Boulevard in Sacramento, so Freeport and Fruit Ridge.
Okay, yeah, you're not actually that far away. I'm over off of and between.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can come down. I know where that is. The police station is right there. I can actually come down there if you'd like.
That would be great. I'd really appreciate it.
Be a little easier on you. And then when are you available? Today, tomorrow?
If you want to come right now and get this over with, right now would be great. If today doesn't work, then we can find another day that works for you.
Yeah, I can come down. If you can give me like 30 minutes, just because I got to clean up some mess that I made here, and then I can be over there, okay?
Okay, so our address, so you have it, is 5770 Freeport Boulevard.
Uh-huh.
And if you just call my desk line, do you have a cell phone? Is this your cell phone?
Yeah, this is my cell phone. So it was a 551 number?
No, it doesn't It's my desk line, so it changed it, but it's 808.
Just 1 second, let me find a pen. Okay, 808?
808-2297. When you get here, just call my phone and I can walk out to you and then walk you over to my office.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, give me about 30 minutes and I'll be down, okay?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The time is 13:32 hours.